Okay guys, so we are back again with the web development front-end course. The course is actually divided into two kind of sites, that is the front end and then the back end. So actually I'm going to take you straight, unlike other courses where you would have to go through a whole lot of theory kind of thing, but I'm actually taking it through straight to the point, to development kind of stage. Okay, so everything is going to be like straight to, like, you are kind of a developer in a business. And so with my course, just think like you have been hired, okay, to work with a company, and you're supposed to like code, okay, or develop something. So the company is actually going to take you through how they develop stuff, okay, that is using the web. So it is my duty to actually take you through everything you're supposed to know as a front-end developer, like straight to the point, hit on hit, not like you beating about the bush. Okay, so we wouldn't beat about the bush, we would actually go straight to the point. So on the last video, we actually had some kind of discussion on kind of web development kind of thing, how to go about everything. So literally front-end development is more like recreating websites, the view, okay, the actual view of a website. So let me make things practical so that you get to understand what I'm talking about. So I'm actually going to use one of my projects that I'm actually working on. I like showing real life example, that is my example, not someone else's example, okay, so that you know that whatever I'm teaching you is actually real and applicable. So if you come to this kind of dummy website, which is already hosted on a free host, so I'll actually teach you how to host your front-end project on a free host. So if you look at this kind of website, whatever you see here, okay, we call this front end. Okay, front end. The reason why we call it front end is that actually you don't actually see what is going on behind this website. Okay, you just go to Google here and then you type in prof nerd at whatever. The moment you hit this, what you see is that the page is actually loaded. Okay, so what goes on behind this particular website, that is you sending data requests to the server. There's a particular server, you sending requests to the server that, oh server, please show me the website. Okay, you don't see that request going on. Let's say there's a part that says login. Okay, let's say you go there and then you log in, you don't actually see what is actually going on there. Okay, so let me show you a typical view of a front end and a back end website. So I have exam server here. The exam server, I'm actually going to use my computer as a server. Okay, so this particular software helps us to make our computer act, okay, stimulate our computer like a server. So we'll actually start the Apache server here. I'm going to click on start here, and then we'll start the Apache server. And then everything on the server, like your data, your detail, your password, credentials, info, okay, so that you'll be able to log in into the website. Everything is actually stored in this database. It's called SQL. Okay, so at the back end you will get to know much about this server and then the SQL thing. But you being front end, you doing front end, you get to know a little bit about server, not that much though. So we're gonna start the database also, and now this tool is working, right? So let me actually another project I'm working on. This is an e-commerce, right? So I'm going to start the e-commerce. So I'm going to start it. Alright, I'm going to start the server, alright, from here. Maybe I'm going to start it from here. So I'm using Node.js as my backend. So npm run test instead of run start. I'm using test. So our website to start soon will be loaded to our server. Okay, so the website will be loaded to our server so that we can actually access this. Sorry, our database is actually loaded to our server here so that we can actually access it through localhost. Okay, we have a local hosting. Backend you get to understand this, but front end we just get to know some few things. Okay, so our website is practically ready. So server started on port 3000, so it means we can access our web server on port 3000. So I'm coming there, localhost 3000 here. So dodging that. So the website actually loads. So this is an e-commerce website where you can actually purchase items, right? You can purchase surgical items, books, and others, right? Good. So now I'm gonna log in. Okay, I'm gonna log in. So whatever you see here is front end. Whatever you see here, this icon, this button, everything is front end, right? So I'm going to log in now. Look at what is going to happen. I'm going to enter my email and then password. Okay, I've entered my email, I've entered my password. Now when I click on login, the data will be sent to the backend. Okay, now that data being sent to the backend, sorry, to the server. Okay, it will be sent to the server, to be sent to Apache here. Okay, sorry, this SQL here, the server, that is the server, is my computer, right, my local host. Now what we'll be doing is that I have my email and password loaded on this database. It's an SQL database here. It is loaded there. So what will happen is I've written a backend code that will compare the password and email. If it is the same, okay, here, then it will allow me to log in. If it is not the same, it will tell me password incorrect. So let me clear a number or a letter from my password, okay, and then hit login. It didn't allow me to log in, right? So let me come back again, type email, password. Let me type a wrong mail, something wrong. It didn't allow me. It says incorrect password, right? Good. So that is back end at work. Now I send the data, it compares the data and then brings the information to my front end. So the information here, incorrect password, have been loaded. Okay, we got data from we sent a request to the back end, okay, the server, telling the server that, oh, I want to actually log in with these credentials. So the server checks. Okay, I write a program to tell the server to check from the database if the email and password, they are equal. If it is not the same, it should send me a message. So it sends the message and then your front end actually displays it. So the front end displays the results that, oh, it didn't find the record, so it will come out nicely as incorrect password. So you will program it that in case it doesn't find it, okay, in case the credentials are not the same, send it to me, and then you program at the front end that display here as incorrect, right? So I'm going to log in with the correct password. Now the moment it's correct, I'll be redirected to my dashboard, right? So it sends the data, I send my email and password to the server, okay, to check from the database if my credentials are correct. Since they are correct, I was being redirected to another page, that is the dashboard. Now whatever you see here is front end, okay, the buttons, the colors, everything is front end. I click on a link, it takes me to my store. Then I'm still working on the products here, but these are dynamic products loaded from the database, okay. The products you see here, that you are seeing here, are loaded from the database. These products are loaded from the database, right? So you get to know much about front end, okay, and then back end also, but this course is fully based on front end. So that is how the front end is. This is absolutely front end. This is absolutely different. Okay, so basically the front end, okay, since you are now, I am your mentor, I'm actually taking you through business, okay, we mean business, so I'm taking you to practical kind of, whatever you see here, whatever you see ongoing, like I hover the mouse, the moment I put the mouse cursor on this product card, you see what happens, the image pushed in, right? Good. This indicates that this is actually front end. This is done at the front end, not back end. When I hover on the mouse, the kind of effect, the text color, everything you see here is front end. Now when I click on this mouse button, it moves to the top, front end, right? Good. Whatever is happening here is front end. The images, everything here, front end, front end, front end, front end, front end. So front end is more concerned about using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so we're basically going to be making use of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some maybe other frameworks. Okay, good. So now let's hit this. We're actually using 15 minutes on every course, okay, on every video lesson, so that it will keep you, how I say, it will make sure, I'm trying to make sure that the kind of knowledge I'm giving you is minimal but heavy, okay, within a set time frame, not kind of long timing. Okay, good. So let me close this and let me turn this thing down. Okay, and let me shut down this one also. Okay, so I'm done here. Good. So basically what we are going to do is we're going to start from HTML, CSS. That is the two. We try to understand the concept within HTML, CSS with the projects. Okay, and we'll do some kind of basic HTML, CSS, try to understand the full scope of these two and how we can actually practically use them. And then later we'll actually move to advanced HTML, CSS, okay, where we actually build a project. We build like two website projects, but the first one will be like mini project. We'll be building pieces. Okay, what I mean pieces of are like pieces of a website. Okay, unlike other courses where you are led to build a whole website, what I'll be doing is we'll pick a section of website. Maybe if it is this, we'll build just this, then we'll build just this, we'll build just this, like just parts or pieces of a website. Okay, so that you get to know how each piece is built instead of you building a whole piece and having this kind of plenty codes in your head. Okay, I wouldn't like you feeling like that, so we'll just do basic ones. And then we'll also do what we call UI UX design. That is, we'll do that one. We'll do UI UX design. We'll dive into it before we actually build a complete website, where you also build one. After me building, you also build the same thing. Then we continue with it. Then we actually get introduced to a framework. Okay, we'll discuss what a framework is. We are going to make use of a CSS framework, and then we try to incorporate some other JavaScript framework that we can use in our front-end development. And then we actually get to know about GitHub. Okay, and then we kind of push our codes to GitHub, and that will be it for the first phase. And then the second phase is we building another project, and then we host that particular project on GitHub. Okay, like this project is actually hosted on GitHub, so we're going to host that project on GitHub. And later we'll get into JavaScript. That is, we get to know about JavaScript, and we'll kind of write some basic projects with JavaScript. Like I'm going to build a calculator and some other weather forecast kind of thing, maybe using an API, something like some basic things with JavaScript. We get to understand the fundamentals of JavaScript, like basic. And then later we get into what we call CSS responsive design. So the CSS responsive design, that is where we are going to actually get into Flexbox, Grid, and then maybe make use of some other CSS frameworks like Tailwind, Bootstrap, and Semantics. I like using Semantics, so we'll get to know some of these things. And then I guess this is it. So I guess you stay put for the next course video, where we dive into what is HTML and then CSS, and then how we can actually start our first project with HTML and CSS. So as I said, the project will be based on 15 minutes course videos, so that will keep the information a bit limited but heavy, so that you can actually carry the information without forgetting everything. So let's hook up to the next video.